Right. Let's just get straight into this because you, Golden Tin, are the worst podcast host anyone could ever have in the entire world.
Oh boy, why is that?
Right, because I told you months ago, right, please watch Lord of the Rings, because you haven't seen Lord of the Rings. And I thought, oh wow, what a wonderful, refreshing 2025 perspective that you watch Lord of the Rings. But you said, no, I don't want to watch Lord of the Rings because, and I quote, it's really good, which I don't understand. And then because of that, you said, let's just play the Gollum game, which is like one of the most notoriously terrible games of all time. So then we had to play the Gollum game, but you didn't even play it. You watched me play it, and then you went away after like an hour, and I had to play the rest of the awful Gollum game because you didn't want to watch a good movie. Explain yourself.
Hey, man, it's your show. Of course you're gonna play Gollum. You think I'm playing Gollum?
I'll be honest. Yeah, I mean, I make you watch movies you hate, I suppose, so it's only fair.
Here's the thing. Right, let me explain myself when it comes to why I don't watch Lord of the Rings, because it's a good film.
Yeah, go on.
I have to find the perfect environment and perfect conditions to watch that. I'm not rushing it for you or anyone. I'm watching it in my own time.
But when are you going to watch it then? When are you going to watch it? You had months of notice.
If they re-show it at the cinema sometime, maybe I'll go see it.
Ah, that's a good shout.
They do that sometime. So
yeah, that is a good shout, yeah.
I might check it out then, because Lord of the Rings, it deserves a good watch. It deserves some time, you know?
Well, that's quite a good defence, actually. I have to give you that. That wasn't bad.
Thank you. Just scathing attack on me in the first second into our podcast.
Well, I wanted to get it hitting with a bang, you know what I mean? I wanted to cut to the meat of the argument.
Well, let's talk about what you think of The Godfather 2 and versus Boss Baby. Let's talk about that.
This is a false accusation. Did I really once claim Boss Baby is better than Godfather 2?
You said Boss Baby is better than Godfather 2. Godfather 2 is overrated. You said, I don't get it. Explain to me. Explain to me what's good. And then you watched Boss Baby and you said that was better because you understood it more than Godfather, I bet.
This is such a good deflection from my opening argument about you not wanting to watch all. Right, listen. The Gollum game. We should probably explain what it is.
Oh, he wants to move on. He wants to move on.
I want to move on from this Boss Baby slander. This is libelism. Where's your proof?
Oh, go on. Gollum game, go on.
We should probably explain what it is. In around 2023, a game for Gollum released, and I think it's been kind of memory hold. I feel like most people don't remember its existence. Is that true?
Very true. I think it made some good, it made some waves when it first came out.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah, when the trailers were shown, people were like, oh, what is this? Look at Gollum, what is this? The game looks really bad. But it has since been forgotten about.
From the hour you could be bothered to sit through, what were your thoughts?
I don't like this, because we watched more than an hour, and you were the one who kept saying, I want to stop. Oh, I don't like this.
It's actually so bad, mate. I played some more, and this must have been how you felt when I made you watch G.I. Joe. It was just like, this is physically painful, because I don't want to do this. I decided that I wouldn't want to be someone who has to play games for a living, you know, like a streamer or something, if I had other responsibilities. Because it was like, I have other things to do with my life, and I'm playing like a game I don't want to play. You know what I mean? This is something that should be fun. It's not. I don't want to do it, and my tasks are piling up. You know, I was just getting stressed out playing it.
I feel as though streamers usually play games they like, or that they're good at.
Yeah, but sometimes they play stuff that's like, let's play a bad game, you know? Which is what we did for you, because you're too lazy to watch Lord of the Rings. My thoughts
were, the game was really ugly looking. It looked like a PS3 game.
Yeah.
Gollum, you know what, I kind of grew to appreciate his design. We can't just always tie it to the movies. Like,
that's true. That's true.
Give it a bit of grace.
Yeah, fair enough.
Lots of caves. I don't know if you ever got out of a cave or were in a cave the entire game.
The entire time. So I only played probably 2 more hours beyond what we played together, because it's just like, you're just in a cave. Okay, right. You're in a cave the whole time. It's really dark. The lighting's really boring. Everything's ugly to look at. And what would, if you've played Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
What would you say is the worst bit of Uncharted in terms of gameplay?
Uncharted 2.
Any Uncharted. It's in all of them.
What, climbing?
Yeah. Like, the whole game is just Uncharted climbing, which is the worst bit of Uncharted by like a long mile. You know what I mean?
I guess it is. I never really hated the climbing in Uncharted, but I guess you're kind of right.
But it's the weakest bit. Like, Uncharted's good overall, but that's a really weak feature, or the weakest feature. And this whole game is just that. Like, there's like a few stealth sections, but every time a stealth section played, I noticed two things, which is number one, my frame rate dropped. So, like, it just ran terribly. Like, yeah, every stealth section. And also, it just wants you to do the stealth section how the stealth section should be played. You know what I mean? So you just, like, take this, because you can't fight as Gollum. So you can only take, like, the set few paths that you can actually sneak through with no improvisation, no anything else. So it's just like, it's not a game really. You know what I mean? It's just sort of running through boring dark tunnels. Bored. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, is my point. You know, like, it's like really boring because the gameplay's bad. It looks bad. And I'll be honest, I don't think Gollum's that interesting of a character, like, outside of his narrative in Lord of the Rings, which you don't know.
Yeah, Gollum, I mean, look, I know of Gollum. Everyone knows of Gollum. Would you make a whole game of him? I don't know.
Right, tell me what you know about Gollum. Let's do a quiz. Who is the Lord of the Rings?
I don't know who the Lord of the Rings is.
Okay, who's Gollum?
You just asked, you asked about Gollum, and then you said who's the Lord of the Rings. What is it, Gollum? Is he the Lord of the Rings?
No. I don't know who the Lord of the Rings is, to be honest. It's just the name of it. I assume the ring is the Lord of the Rings. That's what I guess. Maybe the Tolkien fans in the chat can let us know.
Is it Sauron? Is he the Lord of the Rings?
I guess so. Who's Sauron?
He's the Eye. He's the villain.
Nice. Okay. Right.
He's
Yeah. What's
elf,
Gandalf?
Right?
Oh yeah, he is. How do you know this? All right. What else do you know?
I know for here and there. Yeah, Gandalf is the wizard.
Yep. Does he ever arrive late?
He arrives when he was meant to.
This is good. Okay. I'm actually quite impressed. You don't need to watch the films. We could have just done it. We could have just done the Lord of the Rings podcast.
I could have just pretended. I know, like, of all medias in the world, I know bits and pieces of all of them, pretty much. Like, that guy. But I don't know the story. I don't know, like, any major parts. But I like, that guy. Oh, I know the meme from that, you know?
Right. Okay. Yeah, okay.
I
understand.
Jack of all trades, masters of none. That's mine.
You actually are. Are you good in a pub quiz? Because you seem to know a little bit about everything.
Real world stuff. I'm talking about media. Like, real world stuff, I'm useless.
Right, okay. My favourite bit of Lord of the Rings trivia is that, and you'll appreciate this, do you know what Isengard is?
It's a place. I don't know
well done.
about it.
It's kind of like
the hobbits are going
the bad
there.
What's up?
The hobbits are going there, that's all I know.
Yes, or they're being taken there. It's kind of like the bad guys' fortress, or one of their fortresses, like an important one. And like what it is this big industrial center where they chop down all the wood to start building like their army and their weapons, their equipment and stuff. And Tolkien based that on Birmingham because he saw Birmingham as like the end of traditional Britain and there's a horrible industrial hellhole. So he's like, okay, that's where the bad guys live, which is I mean, he was ahead of his time. Let's just say that he was quite accurate with that one.
Yeah, that has to be not one of my favourite places I've been to in the UK.
I've only passed through it once actually, and it was actually all right to be honest. But I went there to get a train, so I was in there for probably 20 minutes, and I don't know if you can soak up the hellhole Enos in 20 minutes, you know.
Well, that's good. The trivia I know everyone bangs on about is that guy broke his foot kicking the helmet.
Even that's even reached you, has it? That's quite impressive.
That's reached
I
me.
thought that crazy. What other like useless? Yeah, there's that one, and there's also one like. Someone gets a knife thrown at them in the script and then they actually deflect it with their sword and it was just an accident. Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't.
Oh, there you go. There's the other bit of useless Lord of the Rings trivia for you.
There's just so much trivia.
I heckin' love trivia, man.
I just love trivia, fun facts, and DVD
my whole
extras.
personality is trivia. Yeah, I mean, so like, I guess I would compare the game. It graphically looks like a PS3 game, but in terms of gameplay, you know, on the PS2, there was like loads of sort of experimentally, sometimes like film tie-in games where they would use like mechanics from the film, but like kind of badly implement them. Like it never really felt right, but it was experimental. It was trying something. That's what Gollum feels like. It feels like everything is like movie tie-in budget. It never quite is good. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you jump, you go way too high, you get sort of caught on something, and then you die because you're outside the map. And then the game would just bug out and you'd have to restart the level. The entire level, which was boring, to like get it to work again and stuff like that. And it's just sort of, so it's very buggy as well. And I assume at launch, it was even more buggy than it is now. But even though it was generally playable, it still wasn't good enough to finish, if that makes sense. Like, even if people back in the day complained about the bugs, the gameplay is still rubbish, is the point I'm making. Which is harsh to say it's rubbish. It's just really boring. Let's just say that.
Yeah, calling it like a movie tie-in game is amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a perfect description. This is the kind of thing you get, like...
Yeah, it is, yeah.
This is like with they made like a Thor game or whatever. Or a Captain America game. I remember those. And they were just pretty much all terrible. This is exactly that.
Weren't there some that were genuinely good? You had a Wolverine game that looked quite good. You told me about it. Wolverine Origins?
X-Men Origins, yeah, that's really good.
I enjoyed
Spider-Man 2 was also really good.
Oh, yeah, I never played Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed the Iron Man game, but it was probably terrible. It was probably
No, I really liked it. I had
terrible.
it on the Wii. I liked the Iron Man movie.
I mean, it was probably good on the Wii.
Yeah.
But I had it on PS3 and it was just kind of... But I liked it.
There was like an era with the Wii where I felt like it had the best graphics out of all the consoles. It's just the controls were weird. Like, of that era, I felt like you had PS2, Xbox, and then like the Wii.
When the Wii was first, when it was PS3, 360 and the Wii, then okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So I think the Wii was like in the middle of them. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah. Do you think everyone looks back fondly on the Wii now?
Well, like everyone had a Wii, so it was like
everyone had a Wii, didn't they? Like it was just like everyone seemed to have it.
It was just a fun thing. Like you get the parents involved. They can wave a stick
Even
around,
the parents are involved. Yeah, I still have my Wii. I might whip it out someday and play some Wii Sports.
Do a video.
No.
Wii retrospective.
I think the world has enough retros. I know I make retrospectives on YouTube, but I think the world has enough. You know what I mean? Like, if everyone who made retrospectives died, the world would keep on spinning. It would be fine. We don't need any more.
We don't need any more nostalgia. We're kind of done with that.
Yeah, we've got the Gollum game. That is like 2005 nostalgia in 2023.
The Gollum game didn't give anyone nostalgia. They weren't playing this game thinking, I remember going to see Lord of the Rings in the cinema.
Yeah.
I remember. That was good stuff.
It's quite sad because I read about the studio a bit. Apparently they got criticised because the game is really heavy on like Tolkien lore. And I'm like, that's kind of cool actually.
That's good.
But like to the point where you can't understand the plot properly unless you know all the lore. And that's a bit much. But I kind of respect that the studio went really lore heavy with it and tried to make it good in that regard, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game probably was rushed out a little bit or like needed a bit more time to cook.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was probably some soul behind it.
So I did some reading. Yeah, apparently there was like very poor working conditions, which is sad. So it makes you feel bad criticizing it if the people who made it were just getting like squished, you know. But also, this is the kicker, it was funded by the taxpayer partially of Germany, which is the country I live in and pay taxes in. So I paid out of my own tax euros for this Gollum game to be made. What an outrage.
You funded this game.
I funded this game
the Gollum
single-handedly. I made this game and this is what I get. And then I had to pay for it. Out of my own euros, I had to pay for this game. And did you know that it's the same thing with GTA 5? Did you know this with GTA 5?
What? No, what?
So, Rockstar...
German taxpayers are...
It's worse. The British taxpayer paid for it.
No!
So Rockstar is a British company and... So they were funded partially through like schemes, were funded by the British taxpayer. But because Rockstar's so big, they didn't pay any tax on the game because they can use tax loopholes. They're big enough, you know what I mean? So we paid for it, the British taxpayer. They sold it back to us and then we bought it again. And then they didn't pay any tax on any of the money they made. So we essentially paid for GTA 5 twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well... At least that was a good game.
At least they made a banger, you know? Like, at least they tried. Imagine if they made the Gollum game and we had to pay for that. Well, I have paid for it twice.
GTA Gollum. Yeah, you paid for it.
I paid a whole euro for this off of Kinguin or something. And I feel ripped off. I guess I got like 3 hours of fun out of my... By the way, we should put my gameplay on the screen. And do you want to describe my gameplay for the audience?
Your gameplay's terrible, to be fair. Your gameplay, I would say, is like handing your controller to a parent who's never played a game.
Yeah.
Before. This is
It's
not
actually
your best
really
showing,
embarrassing, isn't it?
but I will say CGY is a much better gamer than this gameplay may show.
Thank
Ignore
you.
him when he's running into walls, when he's jumping off of cliffs, when he's getting caught by enemies easily. Like, don't think that's him. He can do a lot more than that.
Well, thank you very much. It was really difficult because it plays really badly. The frame rate was terrible, but also it was just like talking to you while playing a new game that I wasn't used to was really difficult. I don't know why. Like, I suddenly, you know, when you watch a streamer or someone do a let's play or whatever, and they play really bad, and you think, why are you playing so badly? Are you stupid? It's because it's really difficult. Like, I've never done it before. It's genuinely
You're literally
really hard.
streaming to one viewer. Like, no, you're not going to make it as a Twitch streamer if that's too much for you. You're not going to make it.
Well, I could just be a crap trick streamer, right? Like, just the split focus was just so difficult. But also, like, it was terrible. Do you blame me? I think I missed like 4 jumps in a row at the start. Do you blame me for that, or do you see the game there?
I never played it. The controls did seem a bit weird. You do seem like you zoom around a bit too fast, but like not very fast, and then you jump weirdly. And the frame rate is really bad in this game. Like, that's genuinely terrible. I
turned my graphics down to like lowest, and it still was choppy. You know, it really was weird. And I think another issue is I always feel like in games, in like third-person games, whenever you go into a cave, the camera's a bit funky. You know, it never quite works properly in a cave. And you're always in a cave in this game. So the camera's always a bit funny. You know what I mean? Like, the camera's always offset from where you want it to be.
Yeah, cave cam. It gets knocked around and stuff like that. One thing this game had that was quite funny to me was you have like Gollum vision. I love that. Every game for a while has like Batman Arkham Asylum vision.
Yeah.
And they put it.
Yeah, I was actually gonna compliment this game. Not, I guess the Gollum vision actually goes against my compliment, but it didn't hold your hand. Only if you press Gollum vision did it hold your hand. But like, even on all the little missions, it just sort of went, go here, do this. It didn't have like someone narrating it like most games nowadays do, where they go like, then you need to do this, then you need to do that.
Hey, don't forget to do this. That.
Yeah. And it only had yellow paint to tell you where to go. Like, if you press the button, like, you just had to figure it out otherwise. And if you watch my gameplay, I actually depend on the yellow paint, which is just tragic.
You are every modern gamer. This is what you're made for. It's yellow paint.
When I played it alone and could actually take in the game, I didn't need the yellow paint. But playing with you, I was like, I need yellow paint to get through this. It was ridiculous. And so I've got to give it that. And also I want to give it that it didn't do my modern gaming pet peeve. And I don't know if it's your pet peeve as well, but where the first like 2.5 levels you're just on rails doing what the game wants you to do. It didn't do that. You know what I mean with that?
Yeah. That's like the tutorial levels that last.
Yeah.
I know you hate tutorial levels. I know you just want to get straight into the action.
Well, okay, yeah, I might as well have my rant about it, even though you know. But it's like, any game from like The Witcher 3 onwards, I'll be honest. I think my controversial opinion is that The Witcher 3 like ruined gaming quite significantly.
Whoa.
Well, it's just the crab game, isn't it? You know how everything's evolving into the crab, like, which is like the perfect crustacean being? I feel The Witcher 3 did that. It's like a game that's like expansive and pretty and interesting and easily digestible to like as many people as possible. It's like challenging but not really challenging, and it holds your hand and you just press a button to win each fight and all this stuff. And like every mission is completed by just hold down your Witcher senses and follow the path, and then you did it, well done. Like, it's just like the cookie at the end of the string. That's what The Witcher 3 is, in my opinion, and therefore anyone can play it in the world because it's really simple but also good. That's my little criticism of The Witcher 3, right?
Whoa, I thought people liked The Witcher 3. Isn't that like?
Yeah, it's like really renowned, but it's bad in my opinion. And then every game tried to become The Witcher 3, where they would have just like really simplistic combat. It holds your hand. Simplistic combat that feels deep, but it's not. And puzzles that feel deep, but they're not, in a pretty world. That's all cinematic and all right, let me structure my argument. I'm annoyed at game cinema. What's up?
Oh wow, I didn't know you actually didn't like Witcher 3 this much.
Yeah, it ruined everything. I genuinely believe this. Like, right, let me go through my list of complaints.
Go on.
First of all, cinematics in games have become too important. Would you agree with that or not?
Ooh. You mean like throughout the whole thing, or like cutscenes, or?
I mean that games now try to be a movie first,
movie
almost,
game.
and a game second.
Yeah.
But I don't mean a movie tie-in. I mean, you'll start the game, it'll be a big cinematic cutscene, and then the first level is like, walk 2 steps and press button 1 of the tutorial, then another big cinematic cutscene, and then like run away from something or other while pressing buttons, and cinematic things happen, and then blah, 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 cinematic cutscene, run, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it goes on for like half an hour before you even play the game. And it's just like, that isn't a game, is it? That's a movie with extra steps, in my opinion. Like a game back in the day, if you pick like Ratchet and Clank 2, there's one cutscene that goes on for 3 minutes, and then you're just in it. You're just shooting people, you're doing stuff, you're playing the game, you know?
Yeah.
But now it takes so flipping long for the game to start. And if you only have a few hours, which you have as not an old person, but someone with a job, you come home from work, like, I'll play a game, and then the first like 2 hours of the game is just a movie. It's rubbish. I'd rather just watch a movie.
Well, I'm going to say, what about going back? What about Uncharted? That was
Uncharted did it. Uncharted ruined games as well, I'll be honest. Uncharted was the game that got lauded for having like cinematic cutscenes and things like that. And it was good back in the day because it was kind of unique when Uncharted did it. But now I feel like every game does it. It's just a generic formula. You know how every modern FPS game has the same formula that Call of Duty set 10 years ago or whatever? Every game now just is like, cinematic opening, tutorial which holds your hands, then the mandatory stealth section where we teach you all about stealth mechanics, and then finally by like level 3 can you actually start playing the game. And so if you ever want to replay the game or play the game on a tight schedule, you have to sit through just 2 hours of a waste of time. Now The Witcher isn't that bad in that regard. The Witcher has like other complaints, but that's like a one massive pet peeve I have. It's like the first 2 levels of games are unplayable. What is your thoughts?
I mean, you're saying all this, but you have like you got to give it up. Like your favorite, you love Uncharted, and that did it, and you love Metal Gear, and that did it. That did it. You can't say it didn't do it. Metal Gear is such a movie. It's a movie first.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, but I feel like Metal Gear wasn't following the script that all of the games follow now. It's so predictable. Like if you play a game that's remotely Hogwarts Legacy, I didn't play it. I watched someone else play it. But like that follows this script, like cutscene, tutorial, long level, and then you finally get to Hogwarts after like ages, and then you have to run around Hogwarts for like another hour, and then you're finally able to like free roam and do what you want in the game.
Hogwarts,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Metal Gear Solid chose to be a movie game, whereas these are just playing the format of a movie game. Does that make sense? Like,
yes, I know what you're trying to say.
Working from the mold.
They're being a bit less organic with it.
Yes, Metal Gear Solid is unapologetically a movie game. You know what I mean? Like, like it just goes for it. And also, like, I actually argue against Metal Gear Solid 4 being particularly good. But like 1 and 2 and lots of 3 are kind of just trying to be Kino. You know, like, and I respect that. They're trying to do something. They're trying to say something. They're trying to tell a story and have a message. Not just, oh, we made a Star Wars game. We get to be in Star Wars world. Look, you're in Star Wars world. Look at all the Star Wars things you can do. You know?
Yeah. Like
I'm being really cynical here, but
you're getting it all out there. I like this. I like hearing this.
I've been carrying this around for years. Like, this has been a thing that's annoyed me for ages. Because, like, I don't know, the Jedi Fallen Order games? They do this quite badly. Like, if you compare that to, like, Force Unleashed, which is, like, another, like, you play as, like, a bad Jedi in that game.
I played that.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
But, like, okay, the opening level of that, you play as Darth Vader for the tutorial, which is just sick. You run around killing people as Darth Vader and you learn all the controls, and then you're on to the next level. You know what I mean? Whereas in the new one, I think it goes on forever. You learn, like, some car, like some train car, you're getting hunted down, there's a tutorial, you have to lose the boss fight, like, I don't care. Let me kill people.
Is that the game where you play as, like, a lady? Or is it the one where you play as Ginger Guy?
Ginger Guy. Yeah, I haven't played the lady one.
That really just disappeared. Like that one came out and just
that got memory hold. Yeah,
instantly. Like even worse.
Instantly. I think people are really ready to hate on Star Wars. Like they're just like people are just sort of waiting to hate on the new thing. You know what I mean? Like and so if it's even remotely not good, it's just like it's the worst thing ever. We must destroy this.
Yeah, I would say Star Wars seems like one of the most. At this point, I don't want to. Obviously, a lot of people still love it for what it was, but like new stuff is the most hated thing ever. Like,
it's just so hard to. Yeah,
I think
I wouldn't want to do that.
I would say I don't know if I'd say this for Star Wars, but for Lord of the Rings, I think that's a franchise that people should just let go, or just let it be.
Yeah,
Don't expect there shouldn't be any new stuff. Star Wars is at least some massive. It's a universal thing, and the creator is still alive. Like, sure, do some stuff with it, but
that's crazy. That's just a really good point.
Just leave it alone.
So go on.
Lord of the Rings, just leave it alone. The 3 films came out.
Yeah,
that won't be beaten ever. Doesn't matter if you it will not ever be beaten.
You're right.
We don't need a Gollum game. We don't need.
You made a really good point though. Like, the original creator of Star Wars is still alive, and they don't do what he wants. You know what I mean? Like, they've destroyed it themselves. The creator is sat there.
I guarantee when he dies, they'll take they'll be like, oh, we found his notebook, and there was a page.
Yeah.
Arc film out of this page he wrote. It was scribbled on notes, just in his memory, in his honor. It's like,
you're
shut
absolutely
up.
right.
You don't like him. You don't rate him.
No, they just do what you're told, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Wow, yeah, that's such a good point. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, I actually saw like a dialogue comparison between like some of the dialogue from the books, which made it into the movies, and like the new show where they don't have the license to the dialogue, so they kind of have to write their own.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know why, but there's such a chasm between the writing on the new show and J.R.R. Tolkien himself. Like,
they just can't emulate it. They just can't do like how.
But I don't know. I don't know why, because I don't want to be like, oh, they just can't write. Modern writers can't write, because I couldn't write it either. Like, there's no way I could do it. I don't understand how J.R.R. Tolkien wrote something that good. You know, like, it's unfathomable the quality of the dialogue in Lord of the Rings.
I'm being a bit off topic here, and maybe a bit blackpilling, but people are just genuinely stupider than they used to be back in the day. They just generally don't know much. They're more illiterate. Well, they've got this access to know everything in the world, essentially, but they just don't know anything.
I think it's like the fact that back in the day, there was less good media than there is now. And so you had to use your imagination more. Whereas now, even us, we grew up with lots of stuff. We grew up with, I don't know, Star Wars or Transformers and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That like formed the imagination neurons in our brains. Whereas someone like Tolkien just grew up with books. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he had to come up with all of this stuff on his own. And so I think we've just sort of shrunken our imagination capacity just by being exposed to more stuff, is my opinion. Because we say like, oh, no one can come up with anything new because it's all been come up with. But is that a symptom of the fact that we only can't come up with new stuff because we're like infected from a young age with so much creativity? That makes sense? You know what I mean? Like,
I just think we're worse at articulating ourselves and writing.
This podcast is evidence of that.
There's evidence, yeah. This is the podcast.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, to be honest,
ego now. Go on.
Yeah, I guarantee there's like loads of really good writers that you just don't hear about. I guarantee there's writers that can write on Tolkien's level. They just didn't happen to work on that TV show, you know? Like, I think that's another thing now, is it's harder and harder to get found because there's more and more noise out there. So like, if someone as good as Tolkien wrote something as good as Lord of the Rings today, they also have to be really good at marketing to get it out to the masses. Whereas back in the day, how many books were there? I mean, obviously there was loads, but you know what I mean? If you actually make a good one, it gets on the radio or whatever. Everyone listens to the radio. Now everyone listens to like a billion different things. You know what I mean? Like, so if you just one radio station said this is good, you're guaranteed to get a lot of people to hear about it, which doesn't work like that anymore.
I don't know. I don't really know how he even became big, if I'm being honest. I don't know his exact
No,
history.
I don't know either, yeah.
I don't know. He must have just gone to a publisher and they were like, well, this is fire. Like, we could have put it and they got him in.
In the 1940s, they were like, this is fire, Tolkien.
This is fire, Tolkien.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he did it. I don't know. Maybe he got lucky. Maybe he wrote other stuff beforehand.
I literally think okay, my knowledge is quite vague. I think he made up stories for his kids, and that's where The Hobbit came first, and that's why it's kind of a lot more childish. So he like made this book called The Hobbit, then he kind of slowly expanded on that, and it became Lord of the Rings. Does that make sense? So I literally think he wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and then did not simple as, you know what I mean? Just one after that. Like he wasn't like George R.R. Martin who wrote loads and loads of books until he got to, you know, his successful one. Bro just wrote gold from the beginning, you know.
I think he did write other stuff, but I can't.
Did he?
I can't. Yeah.
Oh, maybe then. Okay.
I'm more of a fan of that. That's why I don't watch Lord of the Rings. I'm just kind of a bit underground.
The stuff I can't name, I'm such a fan of.
Yeah. No, I'm just gatekeeping. That's all.
But back to games, right? This can just be our game podcast at this point. Here's a trend I've noticed. Second levels in games are often quite bad. What's your thoughts on that?
Interesting. Why do you say that?
It's always the first level's very like popping. You know, outside of these ones where it's just a cinematic movie and a waste of time. The first level's very action-packed and popping. They try to like almost draw you in by putting all the good stuff in the first level. And I feel like they then have to slow down. And usually it's like your ship crashes on like a jungle world or a swamp world, or like you're stuck here. And then you have to like get everything back, you know, and then escape that planet or something, or escape that location. Half-Life 2, for example, the first level's really interesting and draws you in because you're going through the City 17 or whatever. And then the second level's that awful bit on the airboats. You know what I mean? It just goes on forever. It controls badly. It's really quite drawn out and boring.
Don't hate on Half-Life 2.
I will hate on Half-Life 2.
No,
the boat sections are rubbish.
It's the worst part of the whole game, but it's still good, and I don't want to hear it.
But do you know what I mean, though, when I say that? Like, I feel like the second level often tries to strip everything back to basics after the extravagant, bombastic nature of the first level. And so it always feels a bit slow. And then by the third level, things are really starting to pop off. I
do know what you mean. I do see what you're saying. I think it's like a TV show where like maybe they've run out of things. Like they're trying to stretch out a thin plot.
Yeah.
And they need to have like a heavy plot where lots going on. But I think it's rare for a game to have like to be 100% good the entire way. There's always like a bad level in a game that no one cares about. No one cares. There's always.
For example, Force Unleashed 2. If we don't count the tutorial with Darth Vader, the first level you attack like a Imperial base, and it's really fun. You know what I mean? They have like attack tanks and loads of stormtroopers, and you throw them out the windows and stuff. The second level's just on some junk planet where you fight like junk zombies, and it's really quite slow and quite boring. Then the third level is back to being fun again.
Maybe they think, oh, we need to give people a break.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think they want to like dial it down, or maybe get like the most boring ideas out of the way first, and then like kick it off again. I don't really know, but I don't know. It's just a trend I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, what's your least favorite environmental like level / map in games?
Probably Garbage Worlds. Like there's a few
Garbage Worlds.
One person in the audience will be able to say that they played this. You know the game Metal Arms glitch in the system. No one's heard of it. But much like Force Unleashed, the first level's really sick, and the second level is a garbage world against zombies as well. And it's just like your enthusiasm just drops, and then you beat that level, and it's fun again. You know?
Oh, garbage! I was not expecting that. I think you're probably the only person in the world who's garbage.
Garbage, and then like swamp second. It's always a swamp is second.
Do you know what I don't like is like sewer levels. Same ilk as
same sort of thing, like long, boring. Dark. Also, sewers can't really be that diverse, you know what I mean? Like, there's kind of just like tunnels full of shit.
Like they caves,
that's a good saying, yeah.
Those are my least favourite.
Speaking of doing something bad, just to then bring it back to something good later, I have a little conspiracy about a lot of stuff these days. Like technology, video games, everything. I have a little theory, okay, which I've noticed, and I think I'm going to be prophetically right about, okay, which is, you know how we can't really iterate much anymore? Like, over the last 25 years, things haven't changed that much, aside from phones, right? Like, every phone that comes out every year is relatively similar. Most games that come out every year now are relatively similar. There's like just like 1% improvements rather than the massive % improvements, right? Particularly in the last 10 years.
You mean like innovate, like?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like if you compare an iPhone from today to an iPhone from 7 years ago, they're relatively similar, all things considered. Sure. And same with video games. I think people have started putting out a bad product to 1 year to then put out a good product the next year. Case in point, Battlefield 6 just came out around a week ago at the time of recording. And everyone's like singing its praises. I think it's beating all these records. There's more people playing it than Call of Duty for the first time in history. Like, it's doing really, really successfully financially. And that's largely because people see it as this massive return to form and listening to the fans after the failure of the previous game, right? Which is 2042 or something. But But really, all they've done is slightly update Battlefield 3 and 4 with like better mechanics and slightly nicer graphics, right? Like it's literally a 5% improvement of what came out over 10, 15 years ago, okay? And I think if they just released that rather than 42, so if they released this game 4 or 5 years ago, everyone would have just said, yeah, well, it's just Battlefield 3 with nice graphics, like it's okay, you know? But now, because it's after 42, everyone's going, it's amazing, we're back, they've done this brilliant job, everything's good again. And I feel it's the same with the iPhone as well. Like the iPhone that was just announced, like is rubbish and obviously looks rubbish. It has some big battery pack on the back. I don't really understand what benefits it has. But next year, when they release a classic iPhone, everyone's going to be like, oh, Apple's back. They listen to us. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so rather than being a 1% jump each time, like with all the Battlefields, it's a 1% improvement. It now looks like a 25% improvement because the last one was so bad. Thoughts?
This is very interesting. It could just be them being frightened and being like, "Oh, okay, we'll go back to what we know did well."
Yeah, it could. I do also think that's a big factor. Yeah.
But how often do companies really listen to their fans? Not very often. So it could.
I think now they are. I think we had the era of companies thinking they're above the fans, and it all sort of blew up in their face, didn't it? Like this whole like, if you don't like it, don't play it mentality they had a few years ago. It just didn't work, did it? People just didn't play it. They made no money.
People lost their jobs, companies shut down. Right?
Yeah, it's quite sad actually.
Yeah.
So I you're right. Either it's a fear thing, or it's that they had to have a W. They were like, okay, we've really ruined it with the last game. This one has to be good. Let's just go back to basics, right? But I just don't think they would have had this really good reception if the last one wasn't so bad. You know?
I bet the next Battlefield is going to be terrible. I bet they'll mess up again.
I don't know. I reckon stuff's going to be really safe from now on. If you look at films, they're so safe now, aren't they? Like every film is a really careful, safe thing. And that's sort of what Battlefield 6 and recent games also look like. It's just like, okay, we won't take a risk then. We'll just make a standard game with no sharp edges or anything. And so I reckon that will probably be the future for a while until people get bored of that and ask for new things. Because new things don't seem to get received that well anymore. But they're also not very good, you know?
Yeah, well, that'd be why. Do you think, it's kind of depressing since you said that, do you think iPhones are just going to look like this, like look like how they do for the rest of our lives?
That's a great question.
Do you think when we're 80, like, we're just going to have the same looking phone?
I don't know if we'll still have phones when we're 80. That's so, like, it might be an internal thing or something else. Like, I genuinely don't think. But yes, if we can continue to have phones, they'll probably just get thinner and like this. Yeah, we've reached peak phone, really. How much more can you iterate it? Maybe this is a really deluded thing to say, but like, I don't see it getting much different for a while, at least.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, all iPhones since the iPhone 1 has looked like this. Like, so why?
Yeah,
just got rid of like the button. This not going to change.
Yeah, no, I agree. Did we talk on the last podcast about Back to the Future? Did we talk about that? I can't remember now. Did we have that on air? I swear we talked about how like Back to the Future only works because like in the 1980s or whenever it was so different from the 1960s or whenever they go back to, or was it the 50s? And and the future then was promised to be so different from the 1980s, right? Like it could only work in that point of time because of how quickly technology and society was changing. But I think if you did Back to the Future now, within the present day, you go back 25 years, it's not that different, except everyone doesn't have a phone. It's literally the same sort of society. And you go forward 25 years, and I don't think technology is going to change that much either. You know, I just think the progress has slowed down a lot. We had this mental 100-year burst, and I think we're still living and acting like we're going to have constant innovation. We're sort of accustomed to that. I just don't think it's going to happen anymore. We've reached the end of constant innovation for a while, at least.
Unless you're like super mega rich, like sometimes you see this like crazy device or crazy vehicle or something that the top 1% get, but we'll never see that. I think if you went back 25 years in the past, things you wouldn't notice. There'd be a noticeable difference. Like the year 2000, I think people are much more. That was before 9/11. You know, people are much more hopeful for
Yeah.
the future, especially in the 2000s. Like 2000, it's the new millennium.
Oh, then it's just a depressing Back to the Future where
Yeah,
the
then
past
it
was
is
better, the
very-
present sucks, and the future's going to be worse. You know, like, please don't make that film.
Please make a realistic Back to the Future. I'd love to see.
No, make it happy. I don't need it. You know, like let's actually have a positive film about the future. Like every film about the future is just like, oh, it's going to be awful, mate. Mad Max is just like, yeah, it's going to be awful. Why? Let's make it nice. Sorry, yeah. So going back to my point, I just think we're accustomed to like constant innovation, and I wonder how that's going to change. I wonder if younger generations, for example, will expect constant innovation. Like people 20 years younger than us, will they expect society to change every year? Because that's kind of how we grew up with it. You know, games were always evolving, films were getting better and better, and then it kind of just reached a stalemate. You know what I mean? It got as good as it could get almost. And I think now everyone's a bit disenfranchised that it got as good as it can get.
It's going to be interesting to see what future generations, when they grow up, like what they think of the current time period, because they'll be able to see the past, and we'll see if they make any sort of comparison or stuff like that, or if they have any real opinion.
I reckon all the stuff we talk about liking now, like old PS2 games and things, that just won't be remembered. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually, to us it means so much, but to a generation in 100 years time, Halo 3 won't be a significant part of like world history. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we'll say, well, this
like,
is, I think games were better in our day, and we'll just get the old, well, you know, that's just what old people say, things were better in their day, and everyone does say, every generation says things were better in our day.
They genuinely say it. I was actually thinking about that. I was thinking, if I have kids and they play games, I will tell them games are better when I was 15, and they'll say, go away. You know,
like I'm playing Fortnite, or I'm playing
with
Fortnite
my brain.
2.
Yeah. While I'm using my thumbs. They're going to come in. We're going to have a vintage PS3 that's been like re-released for £1,000. They're going to laugh at us for using our thumbs. You can call us stupid.
And you can only buy that PS3 because the original wire has been outlawed and doesn't work on current TVs. Guys, you have to buy the $3,000 adaptation.
To be honest, I would actually buy a PS3 if they released a new one, because I feel like you can play most games on PC that were on the PS3, except like the PS3 exclusives, and they're actually all really good. Like Killzone and Uncharted. No, Uncharted you can play now, but like Resistance and all that. I
love Killzone.
It's good, man. It's really fun.
Good. I played Killzone 2 or 3.
That's the good one.
Loads.
Yeah. Like if they re-released that now on like a classic edition PS3, I'd be a happy boy.
Yeah. Just let us play games. Let's play the PS3 and the PS2. I never had a 4, so that's the one I skipped.
PS5 is fully backwards compatible though, if you wanted to play PS4.
Was PS4 good? Did it have good games?
I kind of jumped ship to PC halfway through PS4, but it was looking alright. Stuff was coming out that was quite good. Titanfall 2, that was quite good on PS4.
I feel like when the PS4 / the end of 3, that kind of era, that's when a lot of people were just like, PC is good. I'm going to go to PC. Like a lot of normies went to PC.
Yeah, it kind of became more affordable.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know, why did that happen? Why did everyone jump ship from console? Was it because our generation finally had a bit more money? Because we kind of like
could be
had
just like
jobs
internet,
and things.
YouTube, everyone could just see like, oh, this is what PC can do. Like, I'll get this.
Yeah, you're right, because it is actually objectively better than a console. It just costs like 4 times the money. So if you have the money, then it's worth it, right? But otherwise, it's just expensive.
Yeah, unfortunately, I hate to say it, because I like a console. You know, I like a games console, and you hold the controller and you play it. That feels like I have this for gaming. PC I can use for other stuff.
Yeah,
it is better, unfortunately.
It is. Yeah, it's weird to say. Like, I think you're right. It might just be exposure, because at my school, the only kid who played on PC were like the weird kids.
Yeah.
Not that I was particularly popular or cool, but it was like the super dorky kids were the PC kids, and everyone else was on PlayStation or Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, just I had a PlayStation, and that was it. But then once you go online, you see all the cool stuff you can do on PC, like emulate PS2 games, which is very good.
Exactly. Well,
and I was actually go on.
Yeah, well, just like the weirdos. Yeah, the weirdos at school really gate-kept PCs. Like,
yeah, right. But they gate-kept it just because they didn't make it look sexy. You know what I mean?
It didn't
like,
look cool.
If the jocks played PC, we'd all do it, you know? But like the cool kids played Xbox, so Xbox was the cool console. PS3 was kind of like already for weirdos, and then PC was like, nah, way, mate.
Nah. I did play, when I was in school, I did play Team Fortress 2. Like that was the main console game I played, and maybe like RuneScape. But
you played RuneScape?
I played a bit of RuneScape. I got like a really old account. I played that in primary school.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but apart from that, I don't know, Miniclip. That was all I did on PC.
Yeah. It was just like cool maths games or whatever you could get around the school centre.
Yeah, it's another thing. Like, people probably thought that's what PC was like. Oh, you can play like little card game, or a little puzzle game or something. Like, that's what they didn't really know what it could do, and now we know.
I also believe that PC was like quite badly optimized back in the day. Like it would always be like it ran fine on PlayStation and Xbox, and then the PC copy was ported across from those.
Like
but even though it was made on a PC, and it just ran badly, and you always saw people moaning online like, "Oh, the PC copy isn't very good," blah blah blah. And then at some point that shifted, and suddenly PC became the focus, and that ran really well. And then console was kind of like left behind a bit in that regard.
Yeah, like the concept to me of playing like Call of Duty on a PC just seems insane. Like I've never played on PC, but now it's probably way better. And there were like good gun games back in the day on the PC. I just never really played it.
I've since gone back and played stuff like Nazi Zombies on PC, and it's just so much easier. Like it's just like the console is so limiting in how you can turn, shoot, and move. Like you can just rinse that game mode on PC. It's really, really easy.
Really, it's easy.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking that we're really off topic from the Gollum game here. But I was thinking that like I'm at the stage now where I'm not really interested in new games that come out, and I have a computer that will always be strong enough to play the old games I'm interested in, like PS2 emulators or PS3 games that are on PC, like Mass Effect or something. So I might just buy a games console again, because like I can either spend just to play the few games I want to play. I can either spend thousands on a new PC every few years, or like 500 quid in a games console and like use it now and then to play the new Ratchet and Clank or something.
Yeah, or just buy the old ones to play the old games you do like.
Yeah, well, I can do that on the PC is what I'm saying. Like my current PC can play them now, so it never won't be able to play them, right, unless it blows up. So I don't really see the need to upgrade it anymore.
Fair enough. But I mean, it was still having frame rate issues with Gollum.
I think that's Gollum's fault, to be honest. Like,
fault.
I don't think it's my fault. I think like everything else runs fine on my PC except Gollum, which is a notoriously buggy game. There was like bits where like those things you have to run from and jump over the wood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just get stuck on the wood. You just wouldn't clear the wood. So you just get stuck on it, and they just charge into you and kill you. You have to start miles back again. It really did feel like a PS2 game in the design, in that even the checkpoints are badly placed. On PS2, sometimes the checkpoints are like a mile away. And even if that mile didn't pose a challenge, it would just be like you have to walk down a hallway a mile, and then you do the thing you died to, and then you die again, and you go back down that mile-long hallway, then you have to walk down it, die again, blah, blah, blah. Gollum's like that as well, where like the checkpoints are far away from what you have to do, and between you and what you have to do is nothing. It's just walking, and it's, it really felt like an old PS2 game. And I said that to someone, and they said like, yeah, but you love old PS2 games. But it's like, but I only remember the ones that are good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's like
definitely
probably
not nostalgia. It's definitely not rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah, no, well, do you think so? You being sarcastic?
I'll be a little sarcastic there. There could be some games that you would play now in the PS2 and be like, this is rubbish.
I agree with that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm sort of saying there's like a survival bias in my head that I look back really fondly on the PS2 because I only replay the games I like. The ones I don't like, I don't play anymore. That makes sense? Yeah. And even ones that I've since, like Killzone 2 actually plays and runs really badly on the PS3. So I just don't play it anymore because it warps my perception of it being really good. Because back in the day, it was really good. But if you play it now, it runs like 20 frames a second. It's just military jargon, just people going like, get to effing cover, man, shoot that chocolate grenade, fire a rocket at it. It's just like nonsense being screamed in your ears. When you're 15, that's really cool. But you play it now and it's like, this is just war pornography. You know what I mean?
That was the style at the time.
That was it, right? And so, sorry, my point was just like, I wonder if that's why we look back on 80s movies and stuff like that so fondly. Not particularly our generation, but the older ones, where like, it just seems like movies from the 80s are better, but that's just because that's all that survived. It's kind of the same with like the PS2. We look back on it so fondly, but I guarantee like so many games are actually terrible.
There's so many awful, like, 80s movies probably compared to the ones that are really good and celebrated. It's the same with anything.
Definitely.
You can have loads of slop. You can squish it, condense it, press it, and some gems comes out. But
I wonder what's
majority of it's slop.
What do you think is going to live from our time? Like only probably a big, like a handful of films will survive from this era, I reckon, is like really good, and all the rest will be in the slop pile in like 50 years time.
Wow. I suppose we had like a huge amount of superhero films, but I actually think majority of them will be looked back on badly. Even like Endgame and Infinity War, I think people will watch it in the future and be like, "This is what."
Yeah, I reckon a select few will be remembered well. Like Iron Man's a genuinely fun movie. Man,
yeah. But I don't know. What films are really big? Like,
well, I think Lord of the Rings will last. The Harry Potter films will last, at least until our generation dies, because we'll probably show our kids and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But I reckon stuff like the Fantastic Four movie isn't going to last. You know, like that movie will eventually, within probably 30 years, that movie will be proper memory hold, unless the YouTube video essayists keep it alive, you know, like it.
You guys keep it alive. It's up to you.
It's up to us, the most important people in society. Society is held on the backs
like
of YouTube video essays.
Yeah.
But yeah, that won't be remembered. I mean, we're probably forgetting them now. There's probably loads of films that won't, you know what I mean? Ones you've already forgotten because they weren't that good.
Defo blanking on some.
Like Shark Tale. That'll be forgotten. No offense, Shark Tale.
That's already been forgotten.
Exactly. Like it's gone, you know? Stuff like that will just be gone.
Gone. That was
gone forever.
Depressing and sour note.
Is it done? Is that sour? I don't know. I also think it's cool that stuff will, like the Spider-Man trilogy will last a long time. I feel like Avatar might last a while. Pirates of the Caribbean will last a while. Shrek, Transformers.
I think Spider-Man's interesting. I think every Spider-Man thing that comes out in the future will be compared to the original Spider-Man.
Well, they were just so good, weren't they?
It was always going to happen. Yeah, they were just elite.
They were just
all three of them elite films.
I agree. Yeah, I think the Andrew Garfield ones might be memory hold. They already kind of are, aren't they?
They have been memory hold.
They really have. The only reason he's even sort of remembered, I think, is because of No Way Home. Him like coming back in that, you know, that's sort of that's done his reputation quite a lot. There's
some people who grew up with that as like their Spider-Man films, but
yeah, I feel that's like actually quite a small population that I genuinely reckon everyone who watched that would have also watched the original ones, just because if you're a parent, your kid likes Spider-Man, you're just going to show them all of them, you know, and then they're going to prefer the ones that are good. You know what I mean? Like prefer absolutely. The better ones that are more fun. Yeah.
Well, Gollum.
Yeah, I mean, I have no points really to make. This is all rolling out of my. I'm going to be shitting this video hard in this big Gollum video I've made, which isn't online yet. Do you want to know why it's not online?
Why is it not online?
Right, people on YouTube moan about a lot of things, don't they? Like, oh, this thing sucks with YouTube. This other thing sucks with YouTube.
Yeah.
I ran into a big YouTuber complaint this week, and I suddenly actually understand why people moan about it. Which is I ran into the copyright content ID thing, where they say, oh, you've got copyrighted content, so you can't upload this, simple as, right? And you think it would be quite useful and help you get through that process, but it just tells you no, and then vaguely says across these parts of the video, there's a problem. But it doesn't say in these specific parts, it just gives you massive regions. It goes, there's a problem here. And then you have to figure out yourself by just uploading variants of your video to YouTube and try and figure out what triggers the system and what doesn't. You know what I mean? To try and figure out why the copyright ID thing's popping off. And so my video is an hour and a half long, or was. It's probably shorter by the time it actually hits YouTube. If you want to see the full one, go to Patreon. So my video is an hour and a half long, so that takes 30 minutes to export, and then an hour to go onto YouTube, and then another hour for YouTube to scan it for the content ID, copyright stuff. Oh. And so that's 2.5 hours per test to see what is the problem. And you just think why can't you just tell me? You can tell me why there's a problem, and it just refuses to give you the specific information, you know? And so you have to find out, reverse what's flagging it, And it's just actually a nightmare. And you might think like, oh, upload a shorter version, but the shorter version wouldn't trigger the system. It's the hour-long version. It takes forever, right? And it just felt like that scene in Elysium where like Matt Damon gets in trouble and has to deal with an AI or something like that. And the AI just has like zero understanding of what a human actually is. It's just this cold machine that just makes his life worse. And it's like, this is it. Like, I suddenly understand why people on YouTube complain about copyright, because it's taken me 3 days to finally figure out what the problem was. It was just like a few sections of the video were triggering it, and if I take them out, then it suddenly works. And it could have told me that. It could have told me that. Like, he could have done it. So yeah, that's my moaning hour.
No, that sucks. I mean, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes for YouTubers they have to deal with that don't quite...
YouTubers are the most oppressed people in the world. The most oppressed minority. YouTubers and video essayists in particular are holding society on their shoulders.
Yeah, the glue that holds everything together.
I
could never do it. I don't know how.
No, the average person has no idea how hard it is to
braver than any
be
soldier, braver than any firefighter, braver than anything I've ever met.
So what is securing a bunker in enemy territory? Have they made a Davy Jones video essay? I don't think so. I just don't think so.
I don't think so.
Have they made a Fantastic Four retrospective? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's not good enough just to secure a bunker or to invent the cure to AIDS. It's not good enough.
Well, we're all excited for this video. We're all rooting for you.
Well, I guess everyone, like 99% of the people at this point, probably just watch the video. They probably think, wow, that video was amazing. I must listen to his podcast. And boy, must they be let down.
No, they'll be let up, if anything.
Let up. Yeah, okay. They love our opinions on video games and our badly formed takes and our...
We're just guys talking.
We're just a couple of fellas, man. What's our little rating for Gollum then? We always do a little rating.
Oh, well, it's hard because I only watched an hour. From the hour that I saw of Gollum, I would have to give it a 4.
Interesting. Okay. Fair enough.
A little bit bad. I feel like maybe if they give them a bit more time. I like that they tried to tie it a bit more to Tolkien's work. I liked the choose Schmeagol or choose Gollum aspect of it.
That was cool. Yeah, that was actually cool. Yeah,
that was kind of cool. There was something there.
Yeah, a cute little thing I liked is that Gollum called everyone, and all the subtitles were titled in like Gollum's voice. So like the guy you worked with most of the time was a frail man. So Gollum just called him Frail Man. Or there was an orc who was mean to you, and it's just like mean orc. I quite liked that, like this sort of childish. Extended to the subtitles.
Through Gollum's eyes, the world through Gollum's eyes.
Exactly. Yeah, that was nice. I'll give it some credit for that. So like, if it came out on the PS2, this would just be a 7 out of 10 game. You know what I mean? It'd be like, but the fact that it's come out in 2023 on the PS5, it's got to be like a 1, which is really horrible. But it's just sort of
a 1.
Even if if it was like fun but flawed, it would get like a 5 or something. But it's boring and flawed. It's just like the worst crime you can be is boring. Like there's nothing to eat in this. It's just sort of quite dull. So 1. Sorry, Gollum game.
Well, you played it, so I trust you.
I do wonder if it might get better. It looked like it was trying to build an interesting story and try and like slowly progress the gameplay and open up the world and stuff. But like, if you just can't get through it because it's so boring, then that's on the game, really. I have to admit, I didn't give it enough of a chance technically, but I just didn't want to. It was too bad to give a chance.
Well, maybe next time we'll check in and see if you've got the itch to
I won't have done. I honestly won't have done. Like, it just wasn't very good. Like, let us know in the comments below if we want to finish Gollum.
Let us know.
All right. See you around, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.